Welcome back to competitive air gunning. If you can't tell behind me, the weather is just about perfect. We're probably pushing 75 degrees. Ain't got much wind, but it's going to be storming, and the wind's really going to pick up here in a few hours. So we're going to try and get some shooting in before some of the other weather comes in. But excuse me, we're going to be putting some targets up around this pond over here. We'll also throw some targets back over here and probably some over here as well. We're going to be engaging targets anywhere. I would probably say for the most part today I'll probably stick under 200 yards. Most of them will be anywhere between 30 and I'd say 150 yards, with a few of them being out a little bit farther than that. But the main objective today is to get some more practice off of props, try and get some more positional shooting in, and try and decrease the time that it takes me to get that target inside my reticle and be able to engage the target. That's one thing I try and tell people when they ask me about shooting this stuff. What are some of the things that I do? And I'm going to tell you the very first thing I tell everybody is don't worry about trying to beat the clock. If you try and beat the clock, you're probably going to end up, especially if you're new, you're probably going to end up with a lot of seconds left on the clock. And if you speed shoot it, you're probably going to take some shots you probably should have took a little extra time on, which might cost you some points. So we should always tell people to focus on making your impacts count, and your time management comes later as you start getting more familiar with your gear and your setup. So that's one reason I practice as often as I do, is to try and decrease those times, so I have less worry about managing the clock. But anyways, I'm gonna get this trigger cam set up on this. I'm gonna put this trigger cam on its apex. We're gonna get these targets behind me set up. I'll probably grab some more out of the shed, but I'm gonna get all this stuff set up. I get the camera ready, and we'll get some stuff sent down range, and I'll see you here in a minute. We got the gun is zeroed. The targets are set up. I probably ought to air this thing out before we get cruising through the stage. I have a data sheet wrote up here on my hand, and the way we're going to shoot this is we're going to shoot the 60 yard, then a 70, and then a 91, and then we'll change positions and we'll shoot a 89 and then a 110. Change position, and we'll start that sequence over. So it'll be 10 different shots at 10 different distances, spanning 30 degrees across this field, maybe closer to 40, I guess. But cover a couple different winds. I know down here we're going to be blowing off to the right. How much, I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll just kind of give it a guess. Wind always likes to hit those trees and likes to go that way. So that's another thing you really got to watch, is a lot of these places you shoot at, they got a very, a lot of them got a common wind, especially if there's trees. These trees will kind of catch the wind and kind of push stuff a certain direction. So it's good to kind of memorize that stuff as you get familiar, and you start shooting different, the same ranges more often. But I like to bounce around a lot of positions and a lot of different distances, and that's so I'm more comfortable when I engage targets from a certain stage. When I get up on a stage and I know there's a lot of distances and a lot of positions, I know my time management is it's probably going to be pretty good. So I know I can get on a target, and I know I can get a shot off in a reasonable amount of time. So I'm not really worried about beating the clock, because I already know I'm going to beat it by quite a bit, unless they drop it down like a minute 30 stage or something, and then you may have to speed it up a little bit. But I'm usually always pretty quick on stages, so and that's something that comes with time. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up. I will start this as I start any stage, and that is mag in, bolt back, and all gear in hand. And when we start this, we'll just say time starts now, and we'll engage it just like we are at any range at a competition. So get this started, and time starts now. And we will check our time as we, when we review this footage, we'll check our time and get a better idea on where we was at. Change positions. We're gonna be shooting through this little tree. Ooh. No wind. It's all right. Last position. Time. That wasn't a bad stage. We dropped one. A little overcompensated for the wind over there a little bit, or it just died off, but it does happen. But I'll take a 9 out of 10 any day. Sure beats a 4 or a 5. So let me go ahead and get reset. I'll get another stage set up. Probably go ahead and shoot off that unstable ladder that's pretty terrible. And yeah, we'll get on to the next one. Try and get some videos in. The way we're gonna shoot this is 8 individual targets on this hanger. And there's 3 on the left, 1 in the middle, 1 up top, and 3 on the right. So we're gonna shoot far left, far right, top. And then we'll change positions. We'll do second in, top. And then we'll do that again for the third one in, top, and then we'll shoot the bottom. So we'll have 3 different positions, and we'll do a 3-shot, 3-shot, and a 4-shot, and that will complete our 10-round count on this one. So let's see how we do. I'm going to start it out just like I would any stage. I am aired up. I go through my pre-list every time, make sure I've got air, make sure my mag's loaded, make sure my backup mag is ready, which is in my pocket just in case. You never know when your mag will fail or when something will happen, so kind of got to be prepared. Never hurts to have a full mag in your pocket, because if you happen to forget that you loaded one, you still have one in your pocket ready to go. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this started. Trigger cam is loaded, or running, and time starts now. Top of the small. Now I do know that the wind on this, it's over here is almost always blowing left or right, so I'm kind of compensating already for it. Now last position, we'll do 4 shots. We'll go up top. Probably shouldn't have, but it helps you practice when you do have those stages where you aren't quite, where the height doesn't quite work out. Put the gap. I could have went the easy route and dropped down to a lower one, but you know, not every match that you go to is going to be completely comfortable for the way you shoot or the heights you shoot. So as bad as I hate to say it, it's always good to put yourself in a very uncomfortable position. You know that way you know what to expect, or know what what your arms and legs are going to do to to your shooting, to your style of shooting. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the next one set up and move on. We're back now. We got the next sequence of targets ready to go. We're going to be shooting a 89, 91, 95, and then a double hanger at 94 yards, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and do we're going to do all 10 shots and all 10 positions right here off of this 6x6. Very, very basic prop. I love this because I can just carry it pretty much anywhere. It takes up no room. I can lean it a million different ways. I can shoot off it laying flat. I can make the angle steeper, shallower, higher, lower. So you can really do a range of stuff off a simple 6x6. So you can get a lot of different practice. But let's go ahead and engage in all these targets, and we'll see where we're at the end. See how many hits, how many misses we got, and we'll go from there. Turn the trigger cam on. Make sure the mag's loaded real quick. Give me 1 second. Forgot to load the mag. Now, quick one. So get the trigger cam back on, and we will start this stage. Double check my walkthrough here. You always want to double check, and time starts now. Basic, simple. That counts. Double hanger, top, bottom. Shut down on this smooth. Ah, the wrong target. Yep, that's all right. So that's one thing you got to really pay attention for. That last one, before that, a last miss, I didn't swing over far enough and I took a shot at the wrong target, which meant my yardage was off, and my data was no good. So a few yards as you start stretching out, I mean, even 1 yard makes a big difference. So you really got to double check the yardages and make sure you're shooting at the right stuff. It's all right. We got an 8 on that one. We'll take it and we'll move on. I'm gonna go ahead and probably set up one more prop for the day as far as the air gun goes, and I'll probably throw some out with the rimfire just to have a little fun. So we'll see you here in just a minute. We're gonna go ahead and run a KYL rack on this one. Be a standard stage, nothing spectacular. Usually KYLs are usually already kind of set up in position, not always, but we'll go ahead and start this one that way. I'm not too worried about climbing down and resetting the camera and then starting it. So go ahead and pop the trigger cam on, and we will see if we can hit all 8 of these, and we'll do a hit to move. So as you hit the big one, you move on to the next one, and you get down a little one, you can just finish off the last whatever's remaining in your mag. So if I hit them all in a row, we should have enough to do 2 more bonus targets at the end. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Here we go. And this is a 50 yard. Kind of sucks when it does that. Then you gotta wait. And sometimes this does happen when you're at on stages. You will have them where they do catch like that, so be prepared that you may have to wait to be able to take the next shot. Looks like every one of these are going to do it, so it is what it is. These targets here go down to a 1/4 inch, so we're on a 1/4 inch target right now. So we'll have to take a little extra time to make sure that target ain't moving, and we are right where we need to be. And that wind is gonna play havoc. Ah, there we go. Let's try this again, see if we can get another one on it. Play that wind. Try and time it. Ooh. All right, well, 9 out of 10. Ain't bad. That's one thing, like I said, you got to kind of watch out for is when them targets are moving, spinning around. Sometimes you're ready to take that next shot, trying to speed through it, and that thing moves by the time you pull the trigger, and then cost you an impact. So, yeah, overall, I'm pretty excited with the way that one ran. What we're gonna do here, we have a 3-shot hanger, or a 3-target hanger set up at 95 yards. See, that wind's getting a little brisk now, but we're gonna shoot a little bit more uncomfortable right now. So we're gonna shoot off of this block, and then we're gonna move back here to one of the lower 2 rungs of the ladder. It would be a user pick which rung they wanted to use. So when we get there, we'll kind of figure out which one we want, but we're gonna do a 12-shot stage, and we're going to do 4 different positions. So 3 shots, 3 shots, 3 shots, and then 3 shots. And yeah, be quite a bit of movement as far as being able to get completely reset, since we're completely getting up and moving around and locking guns. So we'll see where our time is when we get done. This one here will test some awkward positions, because That block is just tall enough where I don't like it. So let's go ahead and get trigger cam rolling. Yeah. Mag in, bag out, and time starts now. It's been raining pretty terrible the past 3 days. I'm sure we're going to be soaking wet as far as that goes. Position. Do this one. Time. So start moving around a lot, and you can really see your heartbeats. In the reticle, you start getting, as you start doing a lot of movements, start getting excited, start trying to beat the clock. That's why I really like setting these up where I'm completely out of position, where I got to do a lot of movements. Just kind of gets you used to it, and when you start getting them, bigger heartbeats, you kind of know a little better on, when you can squeeze your trigger, or whether you should even just hold off just a little bit longer, to relax a little bit more. So we'll check the times on these here in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a wrap for the air gun today. I can't shoot too much because I'm about out of ammo, and it's gonna be a little bit of a wait before I get some. So I'm gonna grab the Voodoo, and we'll have a little fun with it before we call this video done.